Let's talk about guitar stores. Now, guitar stores should be amazing places. Where else are you going to find your new favourite guitar? Where else are you going to be able to plug into so many amplifiers and try them all out and plug and play? Where else are you going to find your new favourite pedal or find such a range of cool equipment to fall in love with? But if they're so great, then how come so many guitar shops that I keep going into are very empty? How come so many messages that I receive from you guys are along the lines of which guitar do I recommend between A and B? And my answer is 90% of the time, have you tried either of these guitars for yourself? And it's never the case. People have just searched for them online. But it's more widespread than people just preferring to buy their items online these days. How come coffee shops and Apple stores are absolutely full of people just hanging out and trying out new mobile phones, or buying a cup of coffee and hanging out there, but people don't want to hang out in guitar stores when they just should have this cool factor that they just seem not to? And I think the reason is many people find them so intimidating. It's super intimidating for beginners especially, because you want to try out a guitar to see whether it's for you, but you're worried about your playing. You don't want to mess up. No one likes to feel that way. But so many guitar stores are just intimidating places to hang out in, which is just a real shame. From being nervous playing in front of other people, to saying something wrong, or being scared to ask, the guitar store people a question about anything because you feel that you'll look inferior. I just feel that many guitar stores are not doing enough to encourage people to visit their stores and to spend time there. And the more people that are around guitars and get a chance to play them, hopefully the more guitarists we can make in this world, which is like the primary reason why I have this YouTube channel. And the best thing about it is creating new guitarists and trying to get people to stay with guitar, especially beyond that first year or so. So many people fall off, and I really want you guys. I want this to be a conversation. I want to know what you guys think. What's your experience of visiting your local guitar shop? Is there a reason why you don't like to go into guitar shops in general, even if you're super new, even if you don't yet own a guitar yet? Why not? Why aren't guitar shops just awesome places to hang out in? I remember the first time that I had to buy a new set of strings for my guitar, and the store assistant rightly asked me what gauge strings would I like. I had no idea what he meant. I literally pointed at a guitar that looked the most like mine that was on the wall, and I said, I have a guitar like that, can I have strings that fit that guitar please? And he didn't then say, oh, so gauge is thickness of string, and give me a couple of options and explain it. He just gave me a set of strings and I left it. And that just sort of summarizes this guitar shop culture, I think, that really needs to change. Now, there are two things here that I really want to clarify before we go on. First of all, this is not the fault of people that work in guitar stores. Most of the time when you chat to anyone one-on-one in a guitar store, they are going to be super knowledgeable, they're genuinely going to help you, and when you chat to people one-on-one, they will help you, and I want to encourage you to do that. Two, people are always going to buy things online from now on. That is just part of life, and it's certainly not something I want to discourage. Again, the conversation here is about guitar store culture and why people don't want to hang out more in guitar stores when guitars and music itself is seen as a really cool thing and a good thing to get involved with. Why do people not want to spend their time there? So I want to offer some suggestions here, but as I say, let me know your suggestions in the comments. If there's a great guitar store near you, I want to know about it. So the biggest thing I think guitar stores can do is just take note from Apple stores and phone shops and coffee stops. Make your guitar store a cool place to hang out in. Guitar stores need to be less like warehouses, just full of equipment on the walls, and better places to hang out with. And there's nothing wrong with a bit of a novelty factor as well. One of the best guitar stores I've ever been to was in Wynwood in Miami, which I visited a couple of months ago. And it was cars and guitars, and they had vintage cars in there and guitars all around the store, and it was absolutely amazing. And I can't remember ever going into a guitar shop before and taking so many photos, and it was an amazing place to hang out with. I managed to play a couple of the guitars as well and chat to staff, and it was a wonderful place. And if then for so many reasons people are then choosing to buy guitars online, what better way to get the eyeballs online on your store, on your website, than having a great place to hang out and people sharing about it and on their social media. Make your guitar place cool and people will share about it and more people will know about that store. Now, another thing that really puts people off, I think, is when they do hear someone playing guitar in a guitar shop and, you know, the amplifier's on too loud or there's too many people trying to, you know, get to the same area to be able to play. And it just baffles me that there are never any dedicated areas to practice guitar that are away from sort of the browsing area so that people can talk, and if they want to try something out, you go to another area which is not necessarily, you know, it doesn't have to be fully soundproofed or anything. It just needs to be a separated area where you're going to play away from the browsing area. And as I say, too many stores are like warehouses, and if someone's playing at one side of the room and you're browsing here, it's very off-putting, and it certainly doesn't make you want to pick up a guitar and join in. It's just unfortunately it can be an annoyance to so many people. And that leads me on to my next point, which if you have dedicated areas for playing guitar, why not offer free guitar lessons in your store? A 15-minute free guitar lesson for anyone that wants it, that comes in, by Jeff, sat in the corner. And you know what, if someone has a free 15-minute guitar lesson, whether they're a beginner or a more advanced player, you know, they're more likely to buy that Les Paul or that guitar that they're trying out while they're in the store, because they're more familiar with it, they've learned something, and they're going to appreciate that store and visit again. Another thing that just baffles me is the amount of guitar stores that on Mondays to Fridays are open 9 AM till 6 PM. You know, they can be open longer on Saturdays and weekends, but you know, if you were a guitar teacher working those hours, you would really struggle to get students, because most people are free in the evenings on a weekday. And then you could start to have, you know, in the evenings, more live music in your stores, not as a one-off event, but as a regular thing, showcasing local talent, open mic nights, you know, in a dedicated area of the guitar store. I've seen guitar stores try this out a little bit, but nothing's happening, you know, on weekday evenings, which I think is just the main time which is not being capitalized on by guitar stores. So to finish up, I really hope this changes. But unless something is done to kind of start the conversation and change guitar shop culture, people are just always going to buy their guitars online without the knowledge and without the experience of trying them out in a store, which is just a real shame. And as I say, let me know your experience of your local guitar stores, or any experiences from the past that you want to share. Let me know your ideas of how we can make guitar shops just cooler places to hang out in, and hopefully we can make more guitarists in this world, and hopefully people will stick with the instrument and we can make guitar stores a cool place to hang out again.